Content warning. This vlog is going to contain mentions of death and suicide. In a distant and second-hand set of dimensions, in an astral plane that was never meant to fly, the curling star mists waver and part. See, great Atuen, the turtle comes, swimming slowly through the interstellar gulf, hydrogen frost on his ponderous limbs, his huge and ancient shell pocked with meteor craters. Through sea-sized eyes that are crusted with rheum and asteroid dust, he stares fixedly at the destination. In a brain bigger than a city with geological slowness, he thinks only of the weight. Most of the weight is, of course, accounted for by Beryllia, Tubul, Great Tufan, and Jerakeen, the four giant elephants upon whose broad and star-tanned shoulders the disk of the world rests, garlanded by the long waterfall at its vast circumference, and domed by the baby blue vault of heaven. Astropsychology has been, as yet, unable to establish what they think about. It is Friday the 13th, Paul Talkers. And I am not superstitious at all, but even if I were, I don't think I'd expect any bad luck today, because Sir Terry Pratchett has already died. I spent about 5 hours trying to psych myself up for this vlog. I don't think I'm ready yet, but I don't know if I'll ever be more ready than this. When I was about 10 or 11 years old, I was living in South Korea on a military base, U.S. Army military base, and I was a great lover of books. And in our on-base store called the Stars and Stripes, I think, the Stars and Stripes bookstore, I found The Color of Magic in the fantasy section. And then also the Light Fantastic, the second book of the Discworld series. I read that prologue in that store as a kid, and I laughed. But in this world, this Discworld that Sir Terry Pratchett crafted, I've learned lessons for most of my life. And because Terry Pratchett's lessons were encapsulated in books, in all of these books, and a couple more, I will keep on learning lessons for the rest of my life, probably, from Terry Pratchett. I should say early on that he was not some sort of perfect person. In his interviews, I can pick up that he was raised with sexism and misogyny, objectification of women, exclusion of people of the rainbow community, an entrenched sense of ableism. But I don't think that too much of that comes across in his writing, and I don't think that he espoused or pushed those views so much as was never able to really shake them off. In his books, Rincewind, the cowardly wizard with 2 Z's, who was what he was because he said that he was, not because a university ever gave him a diploma, ran away from everything he encountered and survived. And so in his stories, I learned about self-care long before Tumblr existed. In the volume titled Equal Rights, R-I-T-E-S, haha, a poon or play on words, we address equal rights. That was like the third book in Discworld about how while men and women certainly can be different, they are certainly equal, and that women don't have to be one of the boys to be equal. I got a little bit of feminism early on. I learned about comparative theology from small gods and pyramids. In Ankh-Morpork, a stew of a city, there was racism, speciesism, But it wasn't presented as just the way things have to be, but rather a thing you had to fight, because all the different races and species deserved equal respect. In Jingo and other stories, we saw the importance of international diplomacy. In more recent volumes of Discworld, I learned about the importance of economics and the postal service and journalism. My way with words, my eloquence, if I have any, has been due in large part to Terry Pratchett. He became kind of a face for assisted suicide, and in this pursuit, some of his privilege and ableism came to light. His arguments for why it should be allowed rested on the premise that the world was civilized and respectful of all people. He would say again and again, if someone is fatally ill and can choose for themselves that they want to end their lives, they should be allowed to do that. But as friends have pointed out to me, disabled people in this world right now, 2015, are pressured to end their lives, to hurt themselves. It is the nature of our societies. I know that that's true in the United States. I know that that's true in the United Kingdom. And I know that that's true in Australia. And so if legislation is passed that makes assisted suicide a legal procedure, no matter how carefully it is worded, the ableism of our societies would still rear its ugly head, and disabled people who are living perfectly fine lives, they get microaggressions and sometimes even explicit requests that they end their own lives. A person like Sir Terry Pratchett would not be pressured into taking his own life, but a person who walks with a cane might. A person who travels in a wheelchair might. Autistic people would be pressured to take their own lives. Until such time as there is no ableism. Until such time as disabled people make even 77% as much as an able white cis male, I would say, okay, now maybe I'm open to considering legally assisted suicide. Terry Pratchett was not perfect in my eyes because he espoused a view that I oppose. But he also gave us the luggage, Gaspo the Wonder Dog, Angua, the Werewolf Copper, Nobby Nobbs, Hogfather, Mort, Susan Stohillet, and of course, Death. He gave us Granny and Nanny and Magrat and Tiffany Aching. He gave us Cohen the Barbarian and the Wee Free Men. They're all still turning Diskwise or Widdershins, and I love him for it. And I'll miss him. From Terry Pratchett to Sam Vimes to Carrot, I learned that personal isn't the same thing as important, except that some things are both. Terry Pratchett was both, to me. And while I don't begrudge that he left early to avoid the rush, I am sad that he had to. And I imagine the pitter-patter of hundreds of little feet as the luggage runs after him. If you like this vlog, it would be great if you gave it a thumbs up, but it would be even better if you shared this video with people. Perhaps people who also would like to think fondly about Sir Terry Pratchett and what he provided this world. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. You can subscribe up there or button below somewhere. A couple of positive things. On Saturday, March 14th at noon Eastern Time or 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, I'm going to have a live event on this channel with my friend Fran from the UK. Fran Just Fran. I hope that you can join us and ask us questions, and we can talk about things like Terry Pratchett or about YouTube culture or about whatever you want. I also have a Patreon now set up. If you'd like to help me grow this channel by contributing a little bit of money every month, you can click on that up there. Do you know about Terry Pratchett and his wonderful books? There were more than just the Discworld. I've got all of these books over here that are not the Discworld, and they are amazing as well, including Good Omens that he co-wrote with Neil Gaiman. So much good stuff. Did you like Terry Pratchett? Let me know in the comments below. How are you taking his passing? Or tell me anything that matters to you, because I want to know what matters to you. As always, thanks for watching. And tomorrow will be even better.